Welcome to Debunking Animal Myths. You won't believe what's actually true. Today, we'll dive deep into the world of animal myths and separate fact from fiction. From misunderstood behaviors to bizarre beliefs, we're here to uncover the truth behind some of the most common and surprising animal myths. So let's get started. Our first myth is one you've probably heard before. Bats are blind, but is there any truth to this claim? Bats are famous for their use of echolocation, which allows them to navigate and hunt in the dark. This has led to the misconception that they must be blind. However, this couldn't be further from the truth. Bats actually have very good eyesight, particularly at night. They can see in low light conditions, and some species can even see ultraviolet light. Echolocation is an additional sense that bats use to enhance their perception in the dark. It doesn't mean they can't see, it just gives them an extra edge when navigating and hunting. So, while echolocation is an incredible adaptation, it doesn't mean bats are blind. In fact, they have the best of both worlds, great eyesight and an extraordinary sense of echolocation. Next up, we have the myth that ostriches bury their heads in the sand to avoid danger. This is one of the most enduring animal myths, but is it true? Ostriches are the largest birds on Earth, and they have a number of unique behaviors. However, burying their heads in the sand is not one of them. When ostriches sense danger, they either run at incredible speeds or lay low to the ground to blend in with their surroundings. The myth likely comes from the way they eat and tend to their nests. Ostriches often lean down to peck at the ground or turn their eggs, giving the illusion that their heads are buried. But in reality, they are just busy with their everyday activities. So, while ostriches do lean down a lot, they definitely do not bury their heads in the sand. This myth is officially debunked. One of the most famous myths in the animal kingdom is that bulls hate the color red. This belief is often perpetuated by bullfighting, but is it accurate? In bullfighting, matadors use a red cape, or muleta, to provoke the bull. However, bulls are actually colorblind to red. Bulls, like many other animals, have dichromatic vision, meaning they can only see two colors, blue and green. The red cape is used more for tradition and spectacle rather than to actually anger the bull. The bull's reaction is due to the movement of the cape, not its color. Bulls are naturally aggressive towards any rapid or sudden movements. So it's not the color red that makes bulls charge, but the motion and provocation. Another myth debunked. Have you ever heard that goldfish have a memory span of only 3 seconds? This myth has been around for a long time, but how true is it? Goldfish are often thought to be forgetful creatures, but recent studies have shown that they are actually quite the opposite. Goldfish have been shown to have memories that last for months, if not longer. They can be trained to respond to various stimuli and remember feeding times and routines. In experiments, goldfish have demonstrated the ability to navigate mazes, recognize their owners, and even associate sounds with feeding times. So, far from having a 3-second memory, goldfish are actually quite intelligent and capable of retaining information for extended periods. Goldfish are much smarter than we give them credit for. This myth is definitely busted. Next, we have a myth that has likely kept many kids from picking up frogs and toads. Touching them gives you warts. Is there any truth to this claim? Frogs and toads have bumpy skin, which may have led to the association with warts. However, the bumps on their skin are not warts and are not contagious. Warts in humans are caused by the human papillomavirus, HPV, which is not transmitted by frogs or toads. Their bumps are actually glands that can secrete substances to deter predators. While it's always a good idea to wash your hands after handling any animal, you don't need to worry about getting warts from frogs or toads. So, feel free to enjoy observing and learning about these fascinating amphibians. This myth is officially debunked. Owls have long been associated with wisdom and knowledge, often depicted as wise old creatures in folklore and literature. But how accurate is this portrayal? Owls are certainly fascinating birds with remarkable hunting abilities, but does that make them wise? While owls are skilled hunters with excellent night vision and hearing, their brains are not particularly large or complex compared to other birds. Their wise reputation likely comes from their calm demeanor and distinctive appearance. In fact, birds like crows and parrots are considered much more intelligent due to their problem-solving skills and ability to use tools. Owls are impressive in their own right, but their wisdom is more a product of human imagination than reality. This myth is officially busted. Many people believe that dogs see the world in black and white, but is this really true? Contrary to popular belief, dogs do not see the world in black and white. They can actually see some colors, but their vision is different from humans. Dogs have dichromatic vision, meaning they see two primary colors, blue and yellow. They cannot see red and green as we do, so their color perception is limited compared to ours. This means dogs can see a range of blues and yellows, but reds and greens appear more as shades of gray or brown. So while dogs don't see the full spectrum of colors that humans do, they definitely don't see the world in black and white. Another myth debunked. A common myth that many of us have heard is that if you touch a baby bird, its mother will abandon it. Is there any truth to this? Birds have a very poor sense of smell, so they are unlikely to detect human scent on their chicks. Most birds rely on visual and auditory cues to recognize their offspring. While it's generally best to leave baby birds alone, touching them won't cause the parents to abandon them. If you find a baby bird out of its nest, the best course of action is usually to place it back in the nest or leave it nearby for the parents to find. So, you don't need to worry about causing abandonment by touching a baby bird. This myth is officially busted. Sharks are often portrayed as having an incredible sense of smell, able to detect a drop of blood from miles away. But how accurate is this depiction? Sharks do have an excellent sense of smell, but the myth exaggerates their capabilities. Sharks can detect blood in the water at concentrations as low as 1 part per million. This is impressive, but it doesn't equate to being able to smell a single drop of blood from miles away. Sharks use their keen sense of smell to detect prey, but they also rely on other senses like hearing, sight, and the ability to sense electric fields. While their sense of smell is remarkable, it's not quite as magical as the myth suggests. This myth is officially debunked. Our final myth is that camels store water in their humps. This belief has been around for centuries, but is it true? We've explored and debunked some of the most enduring and fascinating animal myths today. From bats and bulls to goldfish and camels, it's clear that the animal kingdom is full of surprises and misconceptions. Understanding the truth behind these myths helps us appreciate the incredible adaptations and behaviors of animals even more. Thank you for joining us on this myth-busting adventure. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. And remember, always question what you hear and seek out the truth. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.